Hi, this is Scott with Hard Drives Northwest. What we're going to do is go over the content management system that you've recently purchased and how to manage your site through the admin panel in the content management system. So when you come to your site, you're going to go to the login panel and it's going to be on site/login, and you're going to log in with your username and password that you were provided. Once you've logged in, the main thing that you're going to be doing is managing pages, sidebar menus, advertising, and headers. So we will go over that. There is in here a categories page that helps you organize these things so that you can add different categories that manage and sort through different things. So we're going to go through the different things on here. The menus and how you manage the menus. You can look at it in the raw menu format here, or you can go to the menu tree. The menu tree gives you a folder view of how things are laid out so that you can see if you have folders and subfolders or whether you have one level of menus. And if we compare that to the pages that we have, then that then shows up as your top menu here. And if you had secondary pages on here, when you hovered over these, they would drop down under here. If you need to edit any of these menu items, you just click on it and then you're able to come in here and associate it with a different site. If it's a child menu, you associate it here, the name of it, the page that you're associating that with, or if it's an external link to another page, you'd enter it in here, and then where that menu item is going to show up and the order. And then you just click on update. If you're going to add a new menu item in here, you say create a menu, and it will create a new menu item for you, and then it'll automatically add it into the page menu. So we can just call this test. We can select a page that we've already have here, and we're going to make this number 7, add it to the top menu. We didn't enable it, so you have to click the location and you also have to enable it. Then you save it. We can look for it in the menu tree to see if that's where we want to have it, and then we come back to our site and look at our site. We'll see that we added that page in there. And when we click on it, it links with the page that we associate it with. We don't need that page in there, so what we're going to do is come here and we're just going to delete that menu item. The next thing that we're going to look at is the headers. The headers are what shows up on your site at the very top and has a rotating image on it. The images have to be the same size all the way through, and what you're in control of is the image and the text that's associated with the header as well. You can see we have several different headers enabled here, and the text on these changes as we go to the different pages. Some of them are the same, but some of them change. When you're in here, you can edit any of these header pages right in here. You select a page or an image that's going to be associated with that through the images that are loaded into the header folder on your image manager, and we'll go over the image manager shortly. You're again gonna, if you're on a multi-site content management system, you'll select the site that it's associated with and the category that it's going to be shown in. The title header, so you can understand what it is, and then if you wanted to have it linked to a URL, you can link it to the page URL that you want it to go to. And then you can enable or disable this. You can see we have 5 or 6 different headers in here. These are all under the default header group. So when you are seeing this header group, all these headers are going to be rotating around. If you created a services header group for the services page rather than a default header page group, then the services then would rotate through their different headers on there. So that's how the groups work with this. Now that we've gone through headers, pages are probably what you're going to be managing the most. So the pages then are the main body content. The pages are the main body content of your site. So this content here will make up your pages. Now the way that we have our content management system designed is you can break your content up into smaller sections and embed pages within pages. So if you wanted to have this free inspection and a button in here as a page itself, you can embed those in there. And this is the advertising crawl that's right here, and that's embedded into the page as well. So let me show you how that home page is built. We're going to find the default home page here. We're going to click on this, and you can see that we have the content for the page here. And with our editor, we're able to get in here and just edit this content if we needed to add, if we wanted to add a line of text in there at all. Now if we come down here to the bottom, we can see that we have the advertising 12. That's that advertising crawl that we see along the bottom there, and that's how you add different content in there. Along in the page content, besides just editing the page, you have control over your side menu, the category that your page is associated with, and the site that it's associated with. You can select the header that you want to have associated with it. If you have multiple header categories, it'll show up in there. And then the title of your page is what shows up in the title section for the search engine to index it, keywords, and description. Once you have that information in there, you can select whether you're going to have it as a draft. That means you can only see it on your site here within the editor, archived, or whether it's published. And then the permalink is what's going to show up in the end portion of it so that it's referenced as the page. So we're going to save this. We did a little bit of text editing on this, so we're going to come back to our home page here. And you can see that the text edit that we just added in there was already added into this area here. So that's how easy it is to go ahead and edit text within your site. We have other videos that train you how to embed images into your site, and we can see that this one has the default side menu on it as well, which embeds the quote and has Mark Lee's information on it. So now that we've talked about pages, let's go ahead and look at the sidebars. So we have a couple different sidebars, and then we have different names for them as well. So we have the default one here. We click on this. You can see it has Mark Lee's image. We have a couple links to some pages on there, and then we have a request a quote, and we insert the quote the same way with our dynamic content input function here. So the contact form is input directly into the default right menu. Once you have the right menu created, you save it, and let's see how that relates to the pages again. We go to the page, and under installation services, the side menu is pest control techniques. So we can select the side menu that we have available for us on this. So let's go down to the next thing, which is going to be advertising. The advertising bar that we saw was a little crawl bar that goes across the home page and the pest services page. And that just has these little bugs on them, and they are able to then link into different pages that we want to go to. So you load up your images, and then you associate those images with your advertising bar. And again, you're going to be doing groupings of your advertising crawls. So these first 10 items here are associated with the home advertising. And then the second group of items listed are going to be with your services advertising. And then this link here, this advertising-13, you copy that, you paste it into the body of your page, and that's how that advertising crawl will show up in there. So mainly what we've gone over in managing your site is the menus, headers, pages, sidebars, and those are going to be the main sections that you are going to be using for your site and changing content. Advertising. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully this will help you to manage your content.